Dear all, welcome to Civil Services with ZAKI. Today we are going to discuss about the Atlantification of the Arctic Ocean. So in this topic we will discuss various aspects about how Atlantifications happen and why it is called Atlantification of the Arctic Ocean. We also know about what is the phenomenon or what is the mechanism behind this. So let us start with today's subtopic. So see what are today's subtopic related to Atlantification. So first we see what is Atlantification. Another is what are the mechanism behind the Atlantification. So how this mechanism work in this region. Another is what are the consequences of Atlantification. So what are the consequences? Because these area, basically Arctic area, is the very significant for the global climate regulation. So if we see the Atlantification of these area, it means the drastic change in our climate pattern across the globe. That's why this topic is very significant for mains as well as prelims examinations. Another is we see, as you know, what are the key findings of the BIOCAL Expedition. Basically, BIOCAL Expedition basically confirmed that Atlantification happened in this region, basically the Arctic region. So, as you know, our video, basically this type of the video, all related, as you know, the deep research. So, we in this topic we will discuss about like what is Atlantification, what are the mechanism, what are the consequences, and what are the key findings of the BIOCAL, means biodiversity and calcification. Basically, this is expedition and very significant scientific expedition for the climate change and the global warming. So let's start with the context. So in this context, we see the recent BIOCAL expedition, basically led by the Institute of Environment and Science and Technology, and basically it is related to the Barcelona University, Spain, and it is provided the supporting the phenomenon known as Atlantification. So that's why it is Atlantification. So first we know what is Atlantification. So let's start Atlantification. So what is Atlantification? If you see phenomenon known as Atlantification, Atlantification means the warmer saltier Atlantic water, basically if you see the progressive invasion in the polar Arctic region. So it means the movement of the warmer saltier Atlantic Ocean water to the polar region, and this type of the polar region converted into the water like the Atlantic Ocean. That's why it is called Atlantification. Basically, it is linked to the climate change and significantly implications of the marine ecosystem. So it is also significant for the marine ecosystem in the Arctic region. So Arctic region, as you know, in the recent news, various newspapers like the General Science and Nature and etc., you can find the rapid, warming of the Arctic Ocean. That's why rapid warming of the Arctic Ocean is basically linked with the Atlantification. So what are the mechanisms? So first we see this mechanism. So see here in this picture we see it is the previous year. So see, it is Southern Barents Sea. This is Southern Barents Sea. It is the first picture first. And the second picture, if you see second picture, this is Atlantic water. So Atlantic water warmed this region and this area, and the ice of this area disappeared. So this type of the disappearing of the sea ice is called Atlantification. So in short, we can also use such type of the figures and animation, as you know. So we see this animation. This animation is very significant to understand the Atlantifications. So see here, basically it is Atlantification. So as you know, the Arctic region, as we know that Arctic region covered with the thick ice like this. So due to the Atlantification, these thick ice layer, see here, disappearing. So basically, if we see the phenomenon, as you know, associated with the Atlantification, so basically, as we know, the Gulf Stream further divided into the Atlantic drift, and these Atlantic drift move far north. So see here. If you see here, this here, see here, this, basically these Atlantic drift basically kind of related to here, but these warm Atlantic and saltier current reach to the Barents Sea. This area is called Barents Sea. If you see here, see here, see, and if, as you know, this, basically if you see here, this is the part of the Atlantic meridional overturning current. So if you see circulations, see here, this is called Atlantic, see here, these area, it is called Atlantic Meridional Overturning Circulation, AMOC. So this AMOC played vital role in the global circulations of the ocean water, which is called thermohaline belt. So if you know more about want to know more about the what is the thermohaline belt and what is the global conveyor belt, then you must watch our previous video, this video for this. So let's we see the animation, and basically this circulation played a vital role in the global climate scenario and regulate our atmospheric and global circulation. So basically these, if you see these area, basically you know, after 2001 these area heat rapidly, and such type of the heat bulb or hot spot identify in the various regions in the Arctic, where basically in the southern Barents Sea. See here. Southern Barents Sea. So basically this type of the situation basically hurdle the sea ice forming, and if you see here, this type of the heat bulb. So see how this area rapidly melt. So this is rapidly melting. So that's why this phenomenon is known as Atlantification. Atlantification of the Arctic Ocean. So let's see what are the mechanisms behind the Atlantification. So we also discuss about what are the mechanisms behind the Atlantification. So first we see the following key mechanism. Number one, if you see layer ocean structure, if you see the Arctic regions have basically three layers of the, one layer is the fresh water and melting ice. This layer is the surface layer, and this is less saline. And below this layer, a cold halocline layer present. So first surface layer, another is halocline layer, and finally beneath the halocline layer, it is a pycnocline layer. Pycnocline layer where temperature rises with depth. Temperature rises with depth. So if you go to the lower level, pycnocline layer, you can find more warm water, and basically these warm water coming from the Atlantic Ocean. See here, this is surface layer, this is less saline, this is cold fresh halocline, and this layer is called pycnocline. So this layer is called pycnocline. So this layer is basically moving upward flux, and finally this type. So layered structures of the Arctic Ocean is also play a vital role. Another thing is mixing process. So basically this flux of the warm Atlantic Ocean weaken the halocline in the upper layer and allowing from these water to mix with the surface layer. This mixing result higher surface temperature, reduced winter ice sea cover, and absence of the summer ice. So these are the basic phenomena. Another, if you see, is atmospheric influence. If we see, some models suggest that the Atlantic, if you see, Atlantic water transport into the Arctic may not be trending upward because observation indicate. But if you see the observation, as we know, if you go to the polar region is a high pressure belt. So due to the high pressure, means atmospheric pressure, this exacerbated sea ice loss play a crucial role, basically driving these changes. So that's why atmospheric role is also very significant for the Atlantification. Another mechanism, if we see the loss of the sea ice, basically shift of the sea ice cover due to the warming inflow Atlantic water, observe noted the winter sea ice flow. If you see here, basically if condition region like the southern Barents Sea. So if you see the ice cover reduced, and further these type of the Atlantic warmer, saltier water moving towards north. That's why it is also a significant in the mechanism. Also we see what are the consequences of this Atlantification. Basically this Atlantification, so what are the main consequences? What happen if the Atlantification is continue? So first, ecosystem change. If you see the warming water causes phytoplankton boom. This is one important thing, and extended further north each year and altering the food web. It means the species, warm water species, invaded the Arctic region, and finally it's migrated. These fish community migrated towards northward, and this process is known as borealization. So what is borealization? Basically borealization, if you see the boreal areas, it means Arctic converted into the subarctic region, and the subarctic species move towards north, means Arctic region. That's why this phenomenon is known as the borealization. As you know, the boreal forest means subarctic forest. It is. So second, if we see the impact of marine life. Marine life is also significantly impact because it is the Arctic Ocean. They create favorable condition for the subarctic because this is Atlantification. So subarctic species displacing the traditional Arctic species. It means the degradations of the Arctic species. So it's also degrade the marine life and also the biodiversity, basically Arctic biodiversity loss. Another thing, third thing is also very significant in this report, basically BIOCAL report, basically future projection. If you see, the model predict that in 2080, temperature rises about 0.2 degrees Celsius to 2.2 degrees Celsius. So it's also very concerned because the further exceeding the warm Atlantic influences through the Eurasian basin and basically reducing the sea ice. So it means reducing sea ice means more heat influx. It means more global warming, more climate change, more erratic rain, and more if you see the such type of the incident like the forest fire, like the Californian fire, etc. So that's why it is very, very significant to understand the Atlantification. So if we see basically the research and what is the finding, basically what are the key findings of the BIOCAL expedition. Basically this is BIOCAL expedition. Basically if you see the during the August and September 2024, the research vessels known as Sarmiento de Gamba, this is Sarmiento de Gamba here in figure, basically started from the Vigo. Here you see Vigo, started from the Vigo and traveled from the Reykjavik Iceland and Azore and Salzburg. So basically collect sample from these area, this research vessels. So if we see the samples changes the marine biodiversity, basically expedition aim to analyze the changes in marine biodiversity and particularly focusing the calcifying planktonic organism. So basically calcifying the planktonic organism. Basically these organisms play a vital role in the absorption of the carbon dioxide, basically regulating the carbon dioxide, and also seawater chemistry. So seawater chemistry and atmospheric carbon dioxide also play a vital role in the climate phenomenon, basically global climate phenomenon. So Atlantification affect global level circulation, global level climate pattern, and also enhance the global warming. So let's see the evidence gathered during the oceanographic expedition highlighted the significant changes. What is significant changes occurring during the Atlantification? So during the Atlantification, it is a significant changes, and basically if you see the profound implication of the biodiversity and ecosystem. So basically it's impact the biodiversity. It means Arctic biodiversity converted into the subarctic biodiversity, boreal biodiversity, and that's why it is called borealization. Another thing is ecosystem dynamics and climate change. So it's also impact greater scale on the basically global climate and basically global warming. So these are the major finding of this report. I hope you understand what is the Atlantification and what are the findings of the new research. So first we see the question regarding the UPSC mains or IAS mains examination. So what type of the question basically asked by the UPSC in future? So this section is very significant for you and your colleagues. So that's why please share this video and subscribe our channel and tell your friends and colleagues. So share this video more and more and kindly help us. So first see what are the potential global implications of the Atlantification and its relationship to the climate change. First question, very significant question, very significant. Second question is explain the phenomenon of Atlantification in the Arctic, discussing the causes and impact of the Arctic ecosystem. So what is the impact of the Arctic ecosystem? Like the Arctic ecosystem converted into the subarctic ecosystem. So all these phenomena is related to the Atlantification. So these two questions are very, very significant for the civil service students. Regarding the prelims, as you know, you can join our prelims test series and go to our channel and subscribe, and go to our channel community area, and you can find various questions, question of the day, like this question. You can find daily questions till your prelims 2024. So thanks for watching this video. Thanks a lot. We will meet in the new video with new topic. Thanks a lot.